It is the 19th of February, Thursday. We are not going to talk about Impact Wrestling today. Well, we're talking about Impact Wrestling, but we're not talking about we're not talking about the latest show because we already did that yesterday. This is the Wrestling Guild. My name is Chris Mary Holtman. With me, I have Nick E. Anderson. Are you more like with it today, Nick?
More what? Sorry?
Are you more with it today than you were yesterday? You seemed a little bit distracted. Or not tired. I don't know.
No, I'm not really tired. Not really. No.
No?
No, not really. No. I woke up like 3, and then 4, and then 6, and then 7. So now I'm pretty good. Pretty good to go.
Okay.
I don't know what happened last night. I don't know what's up. I kept trying, but I don't know what's up. I have no clue. But it was, it's nice to wake up early because you have so much time in the day before it comes to like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. You can do so many things. You can study, play games. Yeah, you cook some food maybe. I don't know.
You name it, you can do it.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's nice. It's nice.
Well, we're going to talk about Canadian Clash. One night only Canadian Clash 2018. I don't know if this means that there's going to be a Canadian Clash 2019 or if they're just like naming these things. Last time we had a one night only was called Collision in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we'll just have to see.
We'll just have to see. Not much stories behind this. It's just basically wrestling all the time. We'll just review them a little bit as we go along. Give him a star rating, and then give the whole Canadian Clash a grade. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it starts directly with Mackenzie Mitchell interviewing OVE and Desmond Xavier and Eddie Edwards, who are going to face each other.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting because when OVE, I think, won the titles for the first time, but they won the tag team titles. Desmond Xavier, I think, went and congratulated them because I guess they're friends. They're from and I think JB mentions this during commentary that they're from Ohio. And then JB says that he's from Ohio as well.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Well, that's what he said. Okay, sure.
And if you can't trust JB, who can you trust?
Exactly. That's yeah.
Anyway, not much said in these. I think we can kind of skip what they say in the interviews because they're not really that interesting.
Yeah.
They're all the same. So, OVE versus Desmond Xavier and Eddie Edwards. How did you like this match?
I mean, I always say, Desmond knows what he do, and he knows how he should do, how he should wrestle, how he should perform his moves. Mm-hmm. But in this match, I didn't really find his performance that well. And neither did I to Eddie. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I thought they all did well in it. I thought that I was impressed. It was a great. The thing is that all of these four wrestlers are just really good at what they're doing. They know what they're doing, and I think that was overall in this pay-per-view, or this is one night only. They had chosen wrestlers that really worked well together. Fighting each other. I'd say, for me, there was really no bad match. There was some matches that were less interesting than others, but overall, I thought that this pay-per-view just showcased how good the wrestlers at Impact really are.
Yeah, I mean, I could agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I guess I can agree with you that Desmond Xavier didn't impress the way he's done before.
Yeah.
You know, he's done a lot better. I don't think he didn't get to showcase all of the best moves that he can do.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like the matches, like don't get me wrong, like just like you say, like they weren't bad, but I think I'm just expecting too much out of Desmond and Eddie. But I mean, the match itself, OVE they did well, like they always do, and Eddie and Desmond did really well, like they always do. But I think I'm just expecting more than what they did. Really.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is that I think also Desmond Xavier got to play kind of like the sacrificial lamb most of the match. I mean, that means that he had to take like the brunt of the punishment from OVE, so that Eddie Edwards could jump in and do the hot tag and the save and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
But in the end, Desmond Xavier and Eddie Edwards win, which seems
somehow
a little odd because OVE is a tag team all the time. You know, I would have wanted to see OVE take this, just win it.
Because I don't see the point of them winning really. Like Desmond and Eddie, what's the point of them winning?
Yeah, they win. Desmond Xavier does a like double Pele kick to the head of one of the Crisp brothers, and Eddie Edwards jumps in with the Boston Knee Party. I gave this 4 stars out of 5 because I thought that was. I mean, I was left very satisfied. But now that we're talking about it, I figured maybe it would have been a 3.75 instead because of just not seeing everything out of Desmond Xavier that I would have wanted to see. But I thought this was a solid game or match, and it left me satisfied. I give it 4.
Now I'll give it 3.7 because it's almost at 4, but I'm just expecting a little bit more out of Desmond Xavier, and I just didn't get that. But either way, the match was good, and totally acceptable. Totally acceptable.
Next, we had Casey Spinelli versus Rosemary. We were talking a little bit about this last podcast yesterday, saying that this was definitely a better match than what we saw. From the women, actually Rosemary, the week before, on Impact. How did you like this match?
Both did well. They really tried. 100%. Spinelli, she still impresses me with her moves. She still impresses me. I don't know why, but the moves she does is not like what I'm expecting from her. So that really gets me going.
Oh, it just gets you going. Okay. I hope you're watching the show alone at home.
No, but I mean, it really gets me going. It's like she just impresses me. It's like wow, really, like wow. I don't know.
Well, they did have a little bit of a comedy interaction in the beginning. Spinelli did not want to face Rosemary.
Pretty much, yeah.
And she kind of tried to outrun Rosemary, but then Rosemary caught up with her, and there was a match. It was really good. As you say, I think you're right. The deal with Spinelli is that you don't expect her to maybe perform as well as she does, just because you haven't seen her before. I mean, now we've seen Spinelli a couple of times, but still, there's, she's...
I mean, No, I remember like when seeing OVE for the first time, they were like kind of shit in the beginning, and then they started to get good. So I think I'm expecting to see that shit part in the beginning, and then to see her get better and better. But now I'm seeing the good part, and she's just going better and better from a good start. So yeah.
I can. I feel I can agree with your assessment there. I gave this 4 stars as well.
No, yeah, I'll give this one 4 stars though. And I mean, Rosemary did a lot better than last time, and that's really what I wanted to see as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Rosemary wins with Red Wedding, her finishing maneuver. Yeah. So she goes away with the win, and I don't think anybody really expected Casey Spinelli to win this one.
Yeah.
No. So next we we just had a promo from Xavier and Edwards talking about they might try it again. That they might want to team up again. I don't know if this was a way to tease that they're going to tag again. But one night onlys are always supposed to be a little special, a little bit different. Things that happened on one night onlys aren't supposed to happen other times, which is odd because later we have Caleb Conley and Trevor Lee saying one night only, but they're going to face each other tonight on Impact. They're going to face LAX again. When it comes to Trevor and Caleb, it's just you just gotta take it with you just gotta chill because you don't know what they're gonna say, what they're gonna do. They're just a bit special, weird. Then we went to Border City Wrestling. We get to see a 4-way X Division match. There again, Border City Wrestling does not really seem to know how to tighten the ropes.
Oh yeah,
because the ropes were very, very saggy. I don't know, but in this match it really didn't matter because there was no real interaction in the ropes.
Yeah.
But we saw Jimmy Jacobs in his first match as a wrestler for Impact. This is the first time you get to see him versus Gavin Quinn, who seems this is like a local Canadian wrestler, I think. Hakeem Zayn, who gone back to this was obviously taped before he revealed that he's actually from India, and his name is Rojit. Rojit, something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. Yep.
So he's back to being not Indian. You have some Persian ancestry or Middle Eastern ancestry. Is Hakeem Zayn is that an Arab name, Middle Eastern name?
Hakeem Zayn, never really heard of it. No, I wouldn't. No, not really. No, Hakeem, never. No.
No,
I have never heard that.
You don't have any relatives.
It sounds like a superhero, Hakeem Zayn.
But you don't have any relatives named Hakeem.
No Hakeem and no Zayn, no sir.
No sir. Okay then. Well, anyway, and then Petey Williams. Fast-paced action in this match. How did you like it?
Yeah, just like you said, cool, fast-paced action. Like to describe this match, really, it's like action and craziness. That's pretty much it. I mean, and Gavin Quinn, really impressed me there as well. Wow.
Yeah, me too. Because I was just looking. I was kind of looking at him, and he impressed me just coming out to the ring at first. Because you have Jimmy Jacobs. He comes out in this flamboyant outfit, which is fitting for Jimmy Jacobs. That's what he does.
Yeah.
And you can tell. I remember showing the first Evolve show to one of my friends from Chicago, who had watched wrestling when he was young. Not so much wrestling these days, but he remembers like all the characters, Hulk Hogan, and all that stuff from when he was young. And most of the wrestlers in the first Evolve show, they just come out with they have their trunks, they're ripped, they're good looking. But that's not much else. And then Jimmy Jacobs came out and he said, like, that guy is the real deal. You can see that he's the real deal because he's got the crazy hair, he's got makeup on, he's got then he had I think he had like a fluffy pink like vest.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So he was just like, that guy is the real deal. And so some people just, you can tell, they have like, they make an effort creating like some type of character. And Gavin Quinn had that. You can see when he comes out, like that's a guy with he knows what's going on. So I mean, I was very impressed by Gavin Quinn, and I think like we've said times before, I mean, this would be a guy who would do well in Impact.
Absolutely,
Give him a chance. Put him on TV. Maybe a storyline with Rosemary, maybe. Just because he seemed to kind of go towards the darker side of things, or have him with Jimmy Jacobs and Congo Kong, you know.
I mean, would it look? I mean, that might look weird, but Gavin Quinn versus Alberto, is that too much to ask for?
I don't think that there's anything that's too much to ask for.
No, I mean, it wouldn't look weird or sound weird.
Maybe a little weird because you kind of wonder why would you put him in with in such a high stakes match right away? But I mean, anything is possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but anyway, I was impressed by Gavin Quinn. I was impressed by this match. It was fun. It was a lot of action. I think, once again, unfortunately, the style that Hakeem Zayn was showing here, which is kind of like his Hakeem Zayn style, as opposed to his Rojit style, which was a little bit different. He kind of became the odd man out here. I think the other guys impressed too much. Hakeem Zayn kind of ended up in the shadows.
Yeah, he stood out a bit. Okay. What do you give it?
I gave this 4 stars as well. As I said, impressed all the way. You know, just thought it was a great match.
I would give it. I will give it 4 as well, just because Gavin Quinn really impressed me. And we had Peter Williams. He made the match a lot better than it would have been without him. And Jacobs was okay.
Jacobs. Well, he wasn't actually. That was something he wasn't actually involved that much in the match. I mean, he was oftentimes on the outside, but I mean, when he was in the match, he did well. So it's not like that. I'm not saying that he's bad in any way. It's just saying that he wasn't involved in the match as much as I would have liked it to. Petey Williams hits his trademark Canadian Destroyer to get the win. Of course, I think that's what everybody was waiting for, and the crowd went apey when he did it. So.
Yep, pretty much.
Pretty much. So that was that match. We now move on to the next one, which was Cult of Lee versus LAX, and this is when the Cult of Lee said that they were only going to meet them, or actually maybe it was after the match. They said that it was only for one night only, and that they weren't going to do it again.
Yeah.
Which of course isn't right because they're doing it.
Yeah.
How did you like this match? You're a big LAX fan, though, aren't you?
Pretty much. I mean, both teams, like I always say, but it's true though. I mean, both teams did good. Even Trevor, included, Trevor actually did good for once. Not so much high-flying moves here and there, but it was still satisfying. One thing though that took me off guard is this Caleb guy. He's not on the same level as LAX or Trevor for that matter.
Oh, you don't think so?
I don't know. He just he seems like a noob a bit. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I think of. I wouldn't say that he would be a noob as such, but I think actually I think that probably that LAX, not that they're noobs, but I think they have less experience than Conley,
which is true
in high stakes matches and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I can see it. I mean, I think just like Hakeem Zayn kind of disappeared in the mix in the previous match, I think maybe Caleb Conley disappeared a little bit due to the skills of everyone else in this match.
Sure. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that he didn't. I think with this combo, him and Trevor in a tag team match, or a tag team, in a tag team actually overall, I think he'll get to shine a bit more.
Interesting, yeah.
I think he'll get a little bit more room instead of just being like a jobber all the time.
That's true, yeah. It's a valid point, yeah.
That being said, Cult of Lee did job in this match and lost to LAX, who hit the street sweeper. But this was a 4-star match for me, too. I'm just giving out 4 stars like they're going out of style.
Are you on the cash flow here? Jeez. You're giving 4 stars. I'll give it 3 out of 3. Just because of Caleb.
Okay.
He disappointed me. But the match was good. So,
You ain't gonna lie?
I ain't gonna say that it was bad just because I give it 3. It's just because maybe they need to replace Caleb.
Interesting. Next we had Sienna versus LVN, Laurel Van Ness. This was interesting because I don't think we've actually seen Laurel Van Ness wrestle Sienna one-on-one. I think this was really a first time. Because usually they're on the same page. They're on the same side. How did you like this match?
It was a shocker. It was an okay match. Nice to, like we said, see Sienna back in the ring. She performed well. But even though she performed well, she couldn't really take down Van Ness. I don't know.
No, she lost against Van Ness. I was not that impressed with this match. It was not my cup of tea. I like both Laurel Van Ness and I like Sienna. I gave this only 3 stars, which, by the way, just so that you know, is my lowest rating.
Oh dear!
On this. For a match on this show.
Okay.
Just so you know. Yeah, I don't know. There wasn't much.
Like, why wouldn't you give it like a cash flow and like 4?
No, I couldn't. I never really got into this match. It never got intense or exciting. There was a comedy aspect to it, and that was fine. It doesn't have to be serious all the time. It was the same with what's her face, Casey Spinelli versus Rosemary, and that was also kind of gimmicky and funny in the beginning. But no, I never really got into this. Laurel Van Ness wins with the unprettier to win the match.
Which was like kind of lucky here and there. Like it wasn't just pure performance from her. I don't know. So yeah, I agree with you. 3 stars. 3 stars. Definitely.
And then we are going towards the final big matches of the show. Bobby Lashley versus Hijo del Fantasma. Bobby, and actually Fantasma did call him Bobby as well. He said Bobby. They both cut a promo. I don't know. How did you like this fact that they would have an interview or a vignette first from one, and then that guy would come out, and then they would have like a promo from the next guy. How did you like that method of doing?
I quite like it, to be honest. It was quite satisfying. Like, you see what he has to say, what he's going to aim for, how he's going to destroy the other opponent, and then the other guy comes out and says, I'm going to do this. He has no chance. I quite like it. I don't know. I think it copes well with the match itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. Actually, I enjoyed it too. I thought that was well done, especially like in a show like this. I mean, you don't want to kind of break off what's happening. You don't want 2 interviews right away. I think that becomes kind of dull. So it's Lashley versus Phantasma. This was a really good match. As I said, this is a match we haven't seen before. These guys know what they're doing in the ring. They were both playing to their strengths. Lashley, I mean, it'd be easy to have Lashley being like dominant all the time because, I mean, he is, face it, in a real fight, there's no way Hijo del Fantasma would be able to take Bobby Lashley.
No.
Actually, and it's the same with Sami Callihan probably couldn't take Bobby Lashley in a real fight.
Most probably no, because it's like I always say, it's a walking tank.
Yes, and you said it twice. But yeah, in all seriousness, I think it's nice. It's nice to see that Bobby, because for a long time he was like this indestructible thing, especially when he was a champion, because he was just like, you can't take me, you can't beat me. That was kind of like his gimmick. You can't take me. There's no way you can beat me. And that was always the case. Nobody could beat him. But now that he doesn't have the title, now the American Top Team isn't around and stuff like that, he's kind of like, he's becoming a competitor that you could beat, possibly.
Yeah, like for once.
But Hijo del Fantasma can't beat him. He loses after getting hit by the spear.
Yeah, what do you call the Hurricane?
No, first he did the Hurricane Rana.
Oh, that's how you say Hurricane.
Hurricane Rana, okay. Which is the step up with the legs around the neck and then flip them over, kind of. It's a lucha libre move, and you see a lot of people do it. Petey Williams does it a lot, Sanjay Dutt does it a lot, but you never see Bobby Lashley do it.
I was about to say, like, this big ass guy does that. It was quite beautiful, to be honest. Yes. Because I mean, you have to get your legs up that high as well. Yeah, it was cool.
Yes, it was a move of beauty.
So
so he does that, hits the Hurricane Rana on Hijo de la Fantasma, and then he hits the spear on him as well. 1, 2, 3, bada boom, bada bing. It was over. It was over. Good match. 4 stars. 4 stars.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, okay. It is worthy. 4 stars. Totally. Phantasma did really good, and he impressed me as well. I mean, he is big in that, but not as big as Bobby, but he still did well. So yeah, 4 stars.
Very well. Next, we had the Global Championship on the line. It was A1, who they mentioned had been in Impact before. Probably catch him on the Global Wrestling Network. So that was A1 versus Eli Drake. And it's kind of strange that you choose somebody like A1, who most people don't know, to go up against for the Global Championship, but it is what it is. So, yeah, Drake versus A1. How did you like this?
I think A1 thinks he's like really, 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 really good, and he thinks he can beat everyone, and he plays like a tough guy. And then you come to Eli, who's like more of like, yeah, I am good, but I'm not going to scream it out loud 26,000 times. And then you see when the actual match begins that Eli really takes him down, and that A1 looks like a little. Like really, really weak. I don't know. It feels like they said to A1 to like, yeah, you're really, really good, and then he got punched in the match. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. What do you think?
I understand what you're saying. I was not that impressed with A1. I keep thinking of A1 steak sauce. When I hear, because it's the A1 steak sauce is a thing. But anyway, No, I was not impressed by the thing is that I'm surprised that A1 hasn't gone on to like that he hasn't gone on to like the WWE or something like that, because he feels like a character. He feels like a wrestler that you could. I mean, he's got the look. I mean, look. I mean, he had the body. You can't deny that he had the
absolutely.
look. And the thing was, he didn't seem to have much of a personality. Now, I don't want to harp on A1 if he's listening to this, which I don't think he is. But
anyway, come and beat you.
Yeah, because I know. I mean, he could break me in half. But the thing was, he seems like he's a character that you could basically have in the WWE, because he doesn't have that much of a personality or charisma, or maybe he has charisma, but he doesn't have that much of personality at the moment, which would mean that you could take him and mold him and make him into your own.
That's true.
So, but yeah,
that's true.
Eli Drake, A1 goes up on top. Eli Drake knocks the ref into the ropes so that A1 falls down, and then he hits the gravy train, and it's over. So I gave this
that gravy train. Wow,
yes,
feels good.
I gave this 3.5. It was just it didn't click for me. They were both very good. They did, but I mean, in the end, I was never really afraid that A1 was going to win.
Exactly.
It didn't really do that for me.
You kind of know who would win there.
Well,
so,
the thing was, we knew that Eli Drake was going to win anyway. I mean, because it wasn't like the global championship was going to change hands right then and there. We would have heard of it. But I was never afraid. I mean, it was never a possibility. It never felt like, it might actually happen.
Exactly. Yeah, 3.5. Same here. Totally agree with you.
Next, we had they threw in a classic TNA match, and this is fine for me. That's good for me. I'm perfectly happy with them doing this. So I'll let you take the lead on this. I mean, I obviously saw it when it was on.
You've already seen it before, right?
I've seen it before. You probably haven't seen it before.
I haven't seen this one before, and I fell in love with it.
It was Kurt Angle versus James Storm in kind of like a grudge match. This was quite a bit after James Storm having lost the championship match to Bobby Roode. Then there was like a thing between Kurt Angle and James Storm, where Kurt Angle was like attacking him and stuff like this, because obviously it was James Storm that you saw when James Storm just kicked Kurt Angle in the face and took the championship.
Yeah.
So this was kind of like an after effects of that, you know.
Yeah. No, but the thing about this match, it was cool and it was hard hitting, like always with these old TNA matches. But the thing was with this one was that like Storm, he got choked by Kurt Angle, and for quite a long time. And I pretty much thought there that, this is pretty much it. He's going to become like tired, dizzy, and Kurt Angle is just going to crush him now. But then, from somewhere, Storm then got back like some power, some energy. He kept fighting back, and somehow he actually won the match. Like that element of surprise right there, I think that's quite beautiful, to be honest. Like when I don't know what's going on, what's going to happen, when I can't see that in my when I'm actually watching, I think that's quite beautiful.
Here. That was a good. What would you rate this? I mean, as I said, I already saw this once upon a time, so I know it was going to happen. What would you rate this match, this classic TNA match?
4.5.
4.5.
Straight up with you.
Straight up. Then we had an interview with EC3, and then we have an interview with Moose, but it's EC3 versus Moose. How did you like this?
Well, I mean, we have EC3. He starts dominating in the beginning. He plays around with Moose, makes fun of him here and there. He goes with like the Moose army, and goes with his arm like Moose. Yeah, he's so good. Ha ha ha. But then Moose changes gear and then comes and destroys him pretty much. And when EC3, when he realizes that he's going to get crushed and he's beginning to lose the match and he can't really be dominating him anymore, he starts cheating like he always does because he's a heel. And he goes for the cojones, as we
Yes. As you say in Spanish, that's right.
Yeah. Look, I'm learning Spanish here.
Yeah, I'm sure that your teacher, Miss Foch, will be so happy.
She'll be really happy. I'm positive.
Yes, this was a good match. This was beautifully told. The story telling here was beautiful. Moose ends up winning with a game changer. I gave this 4.5 stars. I thought that this was awesome done, awesome storytelling, beautifully told, just perfect.
Absolutely, 4.5. Totally agree with you.
And then we had the final match: Alberto El Patron, your boy, versus James Storm in his final match.
Yeah, in his final match. I mean, wow. I mean, it really had everything, you know. It was hard-hitting, craziness, the temper of the wrestlers, you know, that was awesome. Mm-hmm. And the audience was awesome, you know, this is awesome, doom, 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 doom. That was awesome. And and you have Alberto and Storm, they work together, you know, that really coats well. They really work good together. It was amazing, really. I mean, wow.
Yes, I gave this a 4.5 stars as well. Perfect. Alberto El Patron hits the double stomp in the corner, and as is usually the deal, in the final match, Storm lost, which is usually what happens. It was well done. So many chances, back and forth. Great. And I think it was nicely done that they did have two Storm matches on this pay-per-view, just to show. So he lost the actual match, but you got to see him win against Kurt Angle, which was a big moment at that. So, perfectly done. How would you rate this pay-per-view?
All in all, 4.3 out of 5. 4.3? I would say so.
I'd give it
4. Maybe 4.4. I mean, it's quite high. I mean, wow.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to give it, I would give it like a B plus to maybe like even an A minus.
A minus? Yeah, I could say A minus. Yeah, I'll say A minus.
An A1 steak sauce.
But okay, wait. But yeah, I mean, all in all, it was good. It had some really good matches. We had some good wrestlers, you know, fighting against each other. Then there were some matches here and there that wasn't that good, but it weren't really that bad.
No.
So yeah,
I would recommend anybody to go out of their way to see this. This really, I would definitely do that. If you get a chance, watch Canadian Clash. It was nice. It fired on all cylinders and it did very, very well.
Sure.
So, Nick, it's actually been quite an intense week with a lot of wrestling, a lot of Impact Wrestling, and we're not done yet because on tonight is the new Impact with a lot of matches already set. I think it'll be a fun show.
True that.
Well, Nick, we will review Impact again on Tuesday next week, which is kind of our day when we do it. You have a couple of more days off?
Yeah, pretty much just chill, study the last days that I have to study before school rolls again as normal.
Well, that's it for this extra edition of the Wrestling Guild. You can find us on all social medias. All of that will be in the show notes. For Nick E. Anderson, my name is Chris Mary Haltman.